Okay, welcome back everybody. Today I'll be showing you how you can use ZGame editor visualizer to create pretty cool audio visualizer backgrounds or videos for your beats. So I'm going to start off with this beat. This beat is on my EP that I've released. So I'll play that out for you now. So I'll be using that to create a nice little visual. So I'm gonna open ZGame editor visualizer now, and I'll go to add content and then add pictures, and I'll select my visual that I want to use. So once I've got that loaded in here, I'm gonna come to the first A here. Actually, I'm gonna detach the window. That's a bit annoying. Just get rid of that for now. So I'll come here, I'll go to image effects, image source, and then the image I loaded. So you'll see now, it should pop up. Oops. So I created a small quick image thing with some darker bars here that I'll use later in Photoshop really quick. So that should be fine for now. You can do whatever you want. I'm leaving a bit of space here to add some stuff later, but that should be fine for now. I'll come to this plus button now, and you can see this order matters. So this is going to be the bottom layer, and I'm going to put everything else on top of that. The first thing I'll add will be some peak effects. I'm going to start with linear, because that's just the one I like to use. And you can see it's created a little line here, and when I play the music, it's going to react to that. Now, I don't like that color. I want a fully white, and I want it to be fully connected with no gaps in between these lines. Now, this is all personal preference. These different sliders determine different things, different attributes about this. So I'll go through, I'll play it now, and I'll just change some sliders. I'm going to change this size so that it's all the way across. And then I'm going to change the position Y so it's down at the bottom here, just lining up with this black bar. Very nice. I'll click hide floor, so it looks like it's coming from behind this bar. Actually, I might move it up a little bit. That looks fine. Taper edges to make it a bit smoother. I'm going to increase the amount of bands and then decrease the amount of gap width so that it looks almost like there are no bands at all. Whoops, I've changed that to position Y accidentally. Don't know when I did that. I'll just switch that back. So bands up, gap width down. So it looks like that. Now that looks disgusting. Taper edges again. Oh yeah, so you select curve instead of bars. And there you go. So what I've done to make it white is I've changed this hue down to the bottom. This doesn't really matter. Saturation down to the bottom. Lightness down to the bottom. Gradient in the middle. And this peak brightness all the way at the bottom. So that's how I got a nice pure white sort of look. Now I'm going to make this a bit smaller because it's taking up too much of this area, I think. I'm going to do that by changing the power. Might taper the high end a little bit so it's not as big as the bass boost, and I'll bring the bass boost up a little bit. It's a little clicking sound at the start, a bit annoying. There we go. So that's looking fine. Might make it a bit smaller again by changing the power a bit lower. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another one of these. So I'll clone layer, but this time I'll change the polarity completely up, and then I'll change the position Y up until it's coming from the top as well. So it looks like it's coming from the bottom. Right, so instead of having it like this, I'm actually going to bring the polarity all the way down and then change the rotation. I'll type in the value, 0.5, and it's nice and balanced like that. So you can see the highs are now over there and the bass is down there, and then the bass is over here and the highs up here. So that just makes it more balanced. Now, I'm going to also add a time indicator, this time stamp. You could also get a time bar, but I like this stamp. So it'll show the second and minutes of the song. So right now I'm at 43 seconds. And there's a lot of effects you can add to this. So you can change the font. You can change how many digits there are. So this is not going to go past 9 minutes. It won't get into double digit minutes. So I'll just have 1 0 there. You can change the blur on it. So I might make it a bit blurrier. Alright, so that seems fine. I'll just add one more thing. I'm not sure where it is. There it is. Post processors RGB shift. Now, you want some very light effects on this one. So just change a little bit. You can see I'll just change it heaps so you can see there. But that does add an RGB shift. Now I'm going to start it at 0 and then I'll keep the angle like at 2 or whatever. So I'll come over to my 808 on number 6 and I'll add a Fruity Peak controller. Right, so once I've got my Fruity Peak controller, I'll come back to ZGame editor, open this up, and then I'll hit over here on this amount. I'll right click, link to controller. You go link to controller, peak control, and then peak, because it's selected on pattern 4_2, which is my 808. And it'll do this when the 808 is playing. Now you might like that insane amount, but I'm gonna change this volume down maybe to 25% and then see what's going on there. So that is way more subtle. I might actually change it up a bit now, maybe 40%, see what that's going. Now, if you didn't want it to affect the timestamp, let's say, what you can do is you can change this position. You can move layer right, so it's above this and it won't be affected now. I actually take off the blur so it's a bit easier to see. But you can see now that the only things being affected are these linear peaks and this background. This timestamp is not. So that is how you get something to react to whatever instrument. I could change this to the clap. If I add a peak controller to a clap or a hi-hat, whatever, I just feel like the RGB shift on an 808 creates a whole level of, it just makes it hit a lot harder. I don't know, it's very immersive. Like if it was a clap, that'd be fine, I guess. You could make something get bigger with a clap just by selecting a different effect and then changing the size to react to the clap with a 3DP controller. And that's how you can easily create visualizers from your music. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.